What is up, y'all? Welcome to Glenwood Games. I'm your host, Jojo, and today we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons and the quarterback situation going into summer. Michael Penix and Tua Tagovailoa, or more specifically, Michael Penix or Tua Tagovailoa. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you as I start. I am a massive Michael Penix fan. I got to see him play against the Panthers in 2024, that last game of the year, and he was absolutely electric. I have enormous faith in Michael Penix, and therefore I am always going to be a bit biased towards Michael Penix. However, I believe there is genuine reason to back up my biases. I believe that Penix has enormous upside in a way that Tua doesn't. But before I explain my biases to you, if you want to support this channel, if you want to help it grow, then the best way to do that, yes, it is to hit the subscribe button, it is to like this video, and it is, most importantly, to leave a comment. So going into this video, let me know what you think. Penix or Tua, who would you ever see start week 1 in Pittsburgh? And I thank you ever so much for your support. Now, Michael Penix. Let's start with Michael Penix. Man, a lot has been said about Michael Penix. He has no knees. He has inconsistency. He doesn't have any touch on the ball. There are a lot of valid criticisms to make of Michael Penix, and there are criticisms I have made in the past of Michael Penix, especially that lack of touch on the ball. However, I believe that what Michael Penix lacks are things that can be taught. I know that Penix struggled in 2025. I think for better or worse, 2025 was Michael Penix's, that was his rookie year, to be so honest with you. That start in 2024 was good, but 2025, I feel like Penix was thrown into the deep end. He was thrown into leading a team with, genuine playoff expectations. I think it's safe to say that as Falcons fans, we expected playoffs. We expected to win the division in 2025. I expected it. I expect it again in 2026, but that's another matter. I think he had a shit coaching staff around him. I think, God, Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson, I sincerely hope that Zach Robinson brings his talents to Tampa Bay like he did to Atlanta, because if he does, then the Bucs will cease to be a threat in the NFC South for the next 5 years. Zach Robinson is that bad at what he does. Combine it with the drama and turmoil around the staff from last year, the firing of wide receiver coach, moving the offensive coordinator down from the box onto the field, Raheem Morris being a grinning idiot. I think that the cards were stacked against Michael Penix last year, and I think for what was around him, I think he performed decently, admirably. 60% completion percentage, about 2,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with an 88.5 rating, and of course, a little over halfway into the year, partially tearing his ACL against the Panthers and missing the rest of the year. I think that Michael Penix wasn't anything enormously special in 2025. I think there were moments, week 1 against Tampa Bay, if you remember that image of him lunging over the line for what should have been the go-ahead touchdown, or what should have been the go-ahead score. I think that Michael Penix in 2024 and 2025 flashed enormous upside. He flashed some dynamic play that I really want to see more of in 2026, and I think he can do. I think Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Rees might not be the greatest coaching staff in the world. I'm not going to try and come out here and say Tommy Rees is like having Sean McVay or anything, but I'm saying that I think they're a bare minimum average coaching staff, and that is something that Michael Penix hasn't had yet in his NFL career. And there's obviously a lot of faith in Michael Penix from his team. Listen to what Tommy Rees has to say.
He's done a really nice job, and all the quarterbacks have. You know, there's a lot of new things we're asking him to do. They're all buying in, and I would say that's where it starts. Like, his buy-in's been tremendous. You know, he's pushing himself, he's pushing his teammates, and, you know, really pleased with that group and how they've come to work.
What kind of new things?
Look, there's a lot of, you know, different things that you try to do within the offense, and from footwork to scheme to, you know, where we're putting our eyes, and you know, we'll hold those close to us right now, but he's taking them to heart and doing a nice job. Yeah, he's a natural thrower. If we're talking just, you know, his passing mechanics and those types of things, I mean, you've seen it Mike's whole career. He's got tremendous arm talent. It's easy for him to throw the football, and that's a great starting point for any quarterback. Yeah, we'll let the medical side of things play out. We're going to focus on what we can control and what we can ask Mike to do. And like I said, everybody's on their own track here, and as much as Mike has been able to do, we'll continue to evaluate that and move ahead.
And listen to what Bijan has to say about him.
It's the same. Like, we're just trying to go out there and compete. Mike's still trying to get his recovery going, but when he's out here, man, like, just making sure that his confidence isn't shot in any way, and make sure he's always at the highest level for himself is the biggest thing. But we're gonna roll with both of these guys right now, and obviously when the time comes, like, that's for the coaches to determine.
Obviously, the Falcons themselves have faith in Penix. I still think this is Penix's team. If he's healthy enough to play going into week 1, which I'm almost completely sure he will be, it is his team. It is his job to lose. Now, on the negative side, yes, Penix has had a lack of touch. He's been extraordinarily inconsistent during his NFL career. I think that there have been plenty of games, last year especially, that the Falcons, I'm not going to say the Falcons necessarily lost any games because of Michael Penix himself. I think he certainly didn't help in a lot of games, but I think for being thrown into the fire with an incompetent coaching staff and just turmoil all around him, I think Penix performed decently, admirably. I mean, you saw him outduel a lot of quarterbacks. You saw him almost outduel Jaden Daniels in his first road start ever in what was effectively just a playoff game in Washington. For reasons unknown to me, Bryce Young just owns him, but Bryce Young seems to own the Falcons for some ungodly reason. I hope that stops next year, because I'm so sick of Bryce Young turning into like prime Cam Newton every time he plays Atlanta for some goddamn reason. But enough on Penix. Tua Tagovailoa. Man, I made a whole video about Tua Tagovailoa. You should go check it out. What can I say about Tua Tagovailoa that hasn't already been said about him? We know what Tua Tagovailoa is. When he's at his best, he is a top 5 quarterback in the entire league. However, he hasn't been his best since 2023 because, like it or not, Tua Tagovailoa, man, people criticize Michael Penix for being injury prone. Tua Tagovailoa's had his brains like knocked out of the front of his head like 5 straight times. The poor man. I mean, there were calls for him to retire from the NFL. He was getting hit so many times. But if you look at his stats, look at 2023, the man went for 4,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 101 passer rating, 105 passer rating in 2022. I'm not trying to hate on Tua. If Tua can somehow regain that form he had in 2022, 2023, even post 2024, I will be happy. I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I genuinely think the amount of talent on the Falcons, I think that we're a decent quarterback away from being a genuine playoff contender. I'm not going to say we are a quarterback away from automatically being a playoff team or automatically making a deep run in the playoffs, because we're not. I can't tell you how far we can go because we haven't seen this team really get the chance. However, if Tua can regain his form, then I am not going to say I don't want Tua. I am not going to say I would take a resurgent Tua Tagovailoa over Michael Penix because I want Michael Penix. I am not. Obviously, I have some emotional stake in Michael Penix. I've met him. I met him at practices. He's a really nice guy. I got to one of my first Falcons games, like when I got a really good seat, I got to see him play. I really want to see Penix succeed. I liked him in college. I want to see him succeed. However, end of the day, I am an Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm not a Michael Penix fan. So if Tua Tagovailoa can get himself together and he can become something more, he can have a resurgence here in Atlanta, damn, give me Tua Tagovailoa. If Tua can play like he did a couple years ago, Tua is the best quarterback in the division. He's better than Baker Mayfield. He's better than Bryce Young. I don't care what Saints fans have to say. He's a damn sight better than Tyler Shaw. I'm not gonna say no. So what do I think the Falcons should do here? Well, Penix is healthy. Well, he's not healthy. He's been cleared for 7-on-7s. He's been cleared for non-contact stuff. He's going to be cleared for full practices at some point. I absolutely believe he'll be ready for week 1, and therefore I think Tua should get a majority of the preseason snaps. I am a big stickler for starters should play preseason games. Not all the way through. Obviously, maybe like 1 quarter in each game, or 2 quarters in the 3rd game. Something like that. I think Raheem Morris was, I didn't like how the Morris regime wouldn't play starters, and the Morris regime always came out really, really lethargic on week 1, and I don't know if Stefanski will change that, but I absolutely believe that starters should get preseason snaps. But when they're not getting preseason snaps, when Penix isn't under center in the preseason, then Tua Tagovailoa absolutely should get a majority of the preseason snaps. I want to see what Tua can do. And then obviously there's Jack Strand, but that's a whole other thing. Come week one in Pittsburgh, Penix should be the guy. This is Penix's team. However, those first 5 games, man, what is it we got? We got Steelers in Pittsburgh against Aaron Rodgers. In his last year, by the way, that's a whole thing. Home against Bryce Young, who inexplicably becomes Superman whenever he plays Atlanta. Then at Green Bay against Jordan Love. At New Orleans for their stupid dome-coming shit they do. And then hosting Lamar Jackson. Man, you want to test your quarterback? Put him up against Lamar Jackson. If Penix can run with Jackson, if our offense can run with Baltimore's, then Penix is the guy, at least for this year. But if Penix struggles in pre-bye week and the team isn't gelling, which I think they're going to, but if he isn't, then I am not at all opposed to giving Tua a chance. I'm not at all opposed to us being down big in a game, because I think there are going to be games where we get blown out. I don't think that's a terribly hot take. I think there are some teams that, if history judges correctly, should be better than us. I think there are some games that might not go all that well. And if they're not, Tua should get those snaps. If Tua can... I've said it before, I'm going around in circles. I'm rambling at this point. But if Tua can play up to the standard he used to, I'll take him. If Penix isn't the guy, obviously, then I'm not at all opposed to Tua getting snaps, to Tua getting starts later in the season. Especially if we're in a playoff push and we need something extra to put us over the edge. I'll take him. As I said before, I'm not going to say no to good quarterback play. But that 7 minutes of rambling was all to say Penix is the guy in 2026, if you ask me. It looks like he will be the guy. I haven't seen anybody from the Falcons themselves say he won't be. It's Tua's team. Not Tua's team, it's Penix's team. Whoa, Freudian slip. No, it's Penix's team. I'm not opposed to it becoming Tua's team if things don't pan out with Penix, but it's Penix's team. Penix is the guy in 2026, at least for now. And all of that is assuming he gets healthy. I'm almost positive he will be healthy by week 1. But you never know. Weird stuff happens in Flowery Branch. And whatever happens, I will root. I will be obnoxious on the internet, and I will get on before the games, and I will explain to you why the Falcons win by not 1, by not 10, by not 100, why they win by 1,000,000, because, damn it, I am a completely biased reporter. But let me know what you think down below. The most important part of the video is here, the part where I shut up and you start talking. Get down in the comments. Tell me, do you believe Penix is the guy? Do you believe in the ceiling Penix has like me? We know what Tua will be. Do you think what Tua already is enough to be better than Penix in the long term? Let me know what you think below. Let me know all y'all's thoughts. I love talking to y'all. The best part of the internet is being able to ramble about sports with complete strangers. So if you enjoyed the video, please join the party for the rest of the offseason. I'll be talking about the Falcons, Hawks, Braves, Bulldogs, Yellow Jackets. If y'all really want me to, go Dogs, go. Atlanta Dream, anything, any big sports news from inside the perimeter, outside the perimeter, anywhere. I am Jojo. I am the host of Glenwood Games, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, to leave a like, to share this with your friends, and help me grow by leaving a comment and telling me what you think of the Penix Tagovailoa situation. Have a great rest of y'all day. Have a great rest of y'all week. Rise up, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.